When people think about a person with a disability, the person may automatically think that makes the person dumb or unable. When you work with people with disabilities every day, they are smart and the furthest thing from unable. I work with a lady who has an intellectual disability due to the doctor's lack of knowledge for the disease known as PKU, phenylketonuria. This disease gradually eats away at the brain if too much protein is taken in. The lady, her name needing to be confidential due to the HIPAA Act, cannot eat more than 9 grams of protein a day. If more than 9 grams of protein are taken in one day, depending on the amount, this could be fatal. She also has restrictions on gluten, soy, anything dairy, and much more, including all nuts. This makes her diet almost impossible. Her diet is a very crucial part of staying healthy and avoiding any more damage to her brain. She does things the way they work for her, such as getting ice cubes out of an ice tray. She uses a butter knife to scoop it out instead of crushing the tray to get them out. She teaches herself new things every day from observing the way others do things. I also work with a man who has a mild intellectual disability. He's over the age of 60 and does many things independently. Assistance is needed with some physical activities such as showering and getting dressed due to him being elder and overweight. This man can verbally communicate with some words, but most of his needs are addressed through nonverbal signs. He goes fishing and boating for activities of retirement and independently makes his own decisions. Working at a job with people with disabilities has taught me patience, understanding, and much more. When working with a person with a disability, time is the main thing. It can take over 3 hours for a person to do a task efficiently and be educated while doing so. For example, doing dishes doesn't take us much time, but a person with autism, this may interrupt a person's attention span towards doing a task. This can be pausing, frustration, sadness, or any other emotions that exist. People all act differently as we have learned since our youth. Working with people with disabilities can also be extremely rewarding emotionally and spiritually. When seeing people with disabilities accomplish something new to them, the excitement and happiness in their actions will without a doubt make you smile. I've worked at this job for about a year now, and I could not imagine if I had not met the people I see every day now. This job can also be dangerous as well. When someone with Duane syndrome becomes agitated, it is likely that they will become physical within minutes of behavior being triggered. As I have learned, it is best to stay calm and let the person do what they need to in order to cool off. These things can trigger people with Duane syndrome. A lot of different actions are upon wide varieties. The young man with Duane syndrome, whom I work with on a daily basis, does not like when people clean. A few months ago when I was taking the garbage out, it suddenly had a shovel hitting me in the back. I turned around to see this young man with the shovel. I had to simply turn away and try and vacate the situation until he calmed down. Dangerous events can happen also with being around people that may have dangerous outcomes with their behaviors. About 6 months ago, I worked with an individual who had pink eye and was mad that he couldn't go to work when his doctor said he had to be medicated for 24 hours. When staff educated him about the instructions, he became very upset. He began shoving people into walls and screaming. He then cornered me into a doorway and became closer, grabbing onto my arm and holding me against the wall. He began to bite through my sweatshirt, rapidly reaching my t-shirt. Luckily, my undershirt was thick enough to prevent any breaking of the skin. When being injured by a person, you must remind yourself that they do not target you personally. When a behavior comes up, they simply act on the person or thing closest to them. Most of the time, that is. Down syndrome is a disability that comes with some mental differences such as life expectancy. The average life expectancy for a person who is diagnosed with Down syndrome is 45 to 50 years. A physical difference with this diagnosis is the shape of a person's ear canal. Multiple individuals I work with are incontinent. Incontinence is when you are unable to control your bladder or your bowels. These individuals who struggle from incontinence wear briefs. A brief is an adult diaper, but for respectful purposes and because the individuals are adults, we use more professional approach with the vocabulary. People with disabilities are not limited to anything. They have a way of doing everything they wish to. They all have their own knowledge and way of accomplishing their dreams. Being able to learn from people I work with every day is such a blessing. I could not imagine never working at a job like this.